Happy holidays from MKE Beer Review. We are cruising our way through the Advent Calendar series here in 2022. As always, I'm Josh.
I'm Ross.
And we've got our wonderful guests, Mr. Lau out of Eau Claire and Mr. Tyler out of Kenosha.
Got it this time.
If you watched yesterday's video, I said that Tyler's from Racine, and then he slapped me for that right before we started here tonight, which I deserved. So
I totally thought you were going to screw it up twice in a row. You got me so good. I was like, wow.
He's going to say it again, that moron. Okay, so in the holiday spirit that we are now all in, let's dive into the Three Cellars Advent Calendar here for day 9 of this series. Now, again, as always, Tyler and Ross know what we're about to drink. They've had a sneak peek. I have no idea what I'm about to pull out of here. I'm trying to not ruin this box, but I don't know how successful I'm going to be. We got a can, and it is Hopslam from Bell's. Now, Bell's is out of Michigan, I do believe.
Yep. I think it's... I forgot where.
Famous for their Two Hearted, which is probably their most popular beer that they sell. But Hopslam is a double IPA brewed with honey. So I'm guessing we're going to get a little smooth creaminess, maybe a little bit in this beer from the honey.
Have you had this?
I've had Hopslam before, but it's been a really long time. I do not remember what this beer is like. But I know the hop heads enjoy it. So is there an ABV on here? I didn't see it.
It's 10%.
10%. Okay, so
Whoa.
not a light one.
I had no idea it was 10. Thanks, Ross.
No problem.
It's a butt kicker IPA. Let's crack this thing open. I'm guessing it's going to be a nice light golden color, traditional IPA look to this thing.
Are you using a wine glass?
No.
Me?
Ross.
Ooh. No.
Boss?
No, it's a beer glass. From a brewery.
Okay.
He's so offended. Don't even question it.
Yeah.
So a little more on the amber side, but a
Very
dark
angry.
golden. A little more on the amber side, but a dark golden color here coming off this. I got about 2.5 fingers ahead on here. That could be my pour. Tyler doesn't look like he's got as much.
My lighting
I'm right
was
with you.
terrible, but yeah.
My wine glass pours well, so.
Your wine glass does pour well. Good. Well, it's a double IPA. I'm guessing it's going to be hoppy and it's going to be bitter on the nose, but let's get a little nose on it. Got to sniff it. As I always say.
As you always say. Don't forget to stick it.
Just bitterness. It's a bitter hoppiness coming off of it.
Yeah, pretty nice hop character coming off the nose. Smells good. Little maltiness behind it. I think that's the double IPA.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of like a grapefruity kind of citrus vibe with the bitterness, maybe a little grassiness.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not getting any of the honey that says it's brewed with. I don't expect it to come through on the nose though.
Honey, typically, when you see when beers are brewed with honey, typically they ferment out. So it's a way of like, that's why this is probably 10% without it being like super malty.
Oh.
It's kind of like sugar in that way where it's going to just boost ABV, not bring a lot of character, most likely. So,
Yep. Got it. Okay.
I'm learning things. I like this.
All right. Well,
shall we?
Time for a swallow.
Cheers, gentlemen.
You do get the honey on the palate. It's for sure there. It's not like in your face honey, but you can just tell there's like that extra little bit of viscosity and like smoothness to this, I think, that comes from that honey being in there.
But to your point, I wouldn't say that there's like a honey sweetness. It's like the honey character without sugar, if that makes sense.
I think that's fair.
This is definitely one of the more bitter beers I've had in a while, and it's well done. It's really good. I think it's when you know what you're getting, it's Hopslam. It's just they say right in the title, it's a 10%er. You're gonna get a lot of that heavy bitterness coming through. It is balanced pretty well though. But it's definitely one where I think if you drink this first, you're not gonna get. You can't really switch off IPAs the rest of the night because you gotta kind of stick with IPAs for a little while, kind of get rid of some of that bitterness taste that you get.
You know, like my take on this, like front end of this, is the hop bitterness just hits you right away. It's very, very bitter right up front. But I think that honey and the way that it kind of attacks the bitterness and the hop character in this, you know, it kind of fades as you get towards the back. And what lingers is actually just a really nice kind of hop character to the back end of this. This is probably one of my favorite IPAs I've had in a really long time. And I mean, I don't drink a ton of IPAs, but I do enjoy them and I appreciate them for what they are. And this one, I like the experience of this beer.
I'm trying to think if I've ever had this one. I don't know if I have.
I know
No,
I
I'll
have.
try it.
I remember back in the day, I used to get this and Hop Freak confused quite a bit from MKE Brewing Company because I thought they kind of had similar taste, similar palate. But this one's better. This one's more well done. I remember that always being the case. Bell's is a good brewery. I like things from Bell's. I think they do a real good job of balancing out flavors, and the flavor profile is always really well done. I think this one's, for being as the bitterness of it, it's still really well balanced, just really well done. So, Josh, putting this on Untappd, where are you going?
I'm going to go a 4 on this. I think it's a really good IPA. It's a good double IPA. You've got to be a hop bitterness IPA fan to enjoy this beer for sure. I mean, if you don't like that and you're going out and buying a beer called Hopslam, then you need to rethink your choices in life. But this is a good beer. I really enjoy it. I'm going to put it a 4.
What about you, Tyler?
Yeah, to Josh's point, I think it's kind of funny just to give a little bit of a plug to Untappd when people will give it like a 2 stars and be like, I hate hops. You're like, oh, interesting choice. Thank you for your opinion. You know, clearly this is an IPA. It's going to be for hop heads. Like Josh said, I like the upfront bitterness, but it actually cleans up really well. And it's actually very well balanced for being a hop forward beer. It's not a hazy. It's not juicy in that regard. It's not sweet. It's probably more like a West Coast maybe style where it is focusing on the bitterness of the hops and that flavor. But it's very approachable for being 10%, very approachable for probably the amount of hops that are in this beer. And for that, I think it's well executed. I'm going to give it a 3.75. And I really enjoy it. I think it's very, very good. I don't know if I've had Hopslam before, but I was pretty happy after tasting it from what I was assuming it would be. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with it.
So
Awesome.
If I were to rate this on how well it's made, I give it a better score. But my personal taste, I'm not a big IPA fan. I think the more hops that you throw into a beer, I don't like it as much. I'm not a big hop head. Everything I said is absolutely accurate. Like it's really well made. It's really well balanced. If you like hops, this is a great beer for you. For me, it's just kind of outside my style, but I'll still go with Tyler. I got 3.75 on it. Very solid beer. I would definitely drink it again. I would definitely buy it. I mean, I would get this one because good to move for an IPA. This is a good one to go. And to Tyler's point, and Josh, you kind of said too, every now and then I do like that just overly hoppy beer. Very few and far between, but this would be one I would definitely gravitate towards when I want that. So
Awesome.
I like it.
Good scores all around on this one. Not a holiday themed beer, but definitely a great one for the box. I like it. So, all right. So now we're gonna flip to Eau Claire, Wisconsin, and the Brewing Project's 13 Days of Christmas, and it is day 2 for Mr.
I got a
Loud.
sweet
So
little present to unwrap here that I don't know what it is either. So
he's
this will be a surprise.
He's He's gonna drink it right out of his
Drink it right out of the can. We've got their cans are always fun art. 2-bit. It is a lager with water, hops, barley, and yeast. Well, that's a beer.
I love that they tell you that there's water in that.
It reminds me of the one. It reminds me of the one that I got last year. That was just, I forget what they called it. They just called it like beer, and it had like just the plainest like light beer can, and it was just a beer. So, well, I think we know what this one's going to look like. It's going to look like a beer.
It's going to look like Josh's Costco advent calendar.
I was going to say,
pretty much.
If you need an expertise, just ask Josh. He's got.
Yeah. So give me some advice on what I'm going to need to try to look for here in the nose, Josh.
Go back and watch the videos real quick, and then come back. And you can.
What color are we looking for, Josh?
Is it supposed to be clear, or is it supposed to be hazy?
It's supposed to be clear.
Well, I think we got there.
I think we did.
I can tell you the Brewing Project doesn't make a whole lot of beers that are clear. They got some stuff in cans that come out with some pretty good chunks in it. Yeah, it smells like a beer. It smells like a lager. I have a feeling I know exactly what this is going to taste like.
I would be concerned for you if there were chunks in that beer.
Yeah, I would be.
I mean, it'd almost be like a 1983 Badger beer.
That is an inside story.
Well,
Somebody should have drank that.
It's better than a Natter Days out of a blender.
Cool. Okay, well that's interesting.
Or Tyler's like, what the hell are they talking about?
Yeah, I can't connect, but I am very intrigued.
Yeah. We'll figure out a way to get you one of those.
So
How is it?
It's not a light beer. It has got more to it than that. There's something else, and I'm trying to figure out what it tastes like.
Is it heavier? Is what you're saying, or
there's more flavor to it?
Light.
Yeah, it's not like the flavor profile isn't of like a Miller Lite or a Coors Light or something. It's more of it's not even really like a Hell's Lager type flavor profile. It's more like
a Coors Banquet?
Yeah, like an Ice House maybe? There's something here that's reminding me of a beer that I've had in college, and I don't know which one, and I'm trying to figure that out.
What's the ABV on it?
5.35.
That's
a little high.
So I was curious, the previous beer that you reviewed, you said for an IPA or a hazy was more malt forward. Are you getting more malt in this one as well?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
So I think I'm getting more of that malt in there. And I don't think it's Milwaukee's best. Maybe it's Milwaukee's best ice or something like that. Because it doesn't have the flavor profile of any of those light beers, but it's one of those full flavored heavy beers that we've had before.
Not
heavy. That's not the right word.
Let me ask you this. Does it taste better than a Milwaukee's best ice? Please say yes.
Yes, absolutely.
There we go.
Okay.
Absolutely. It tastes good, but I think it's the maltiness. I think there's like something, there's more malt in it than I guess I was expecting.
It's like a Liney's original?
Maybe that's where I'm going.
It's a well-made, carefully produced, pretty standard lager.
Mm-hmm.
What you've got in front of you.
Maybe that's more of a point flavor.
Oh, that's not
maybe
good.
Maybe that's what I'm picking up.
He has called this beer Milwaukee's best. He's called it Point. This is not looking good for the Brewing Project based on your descriptions right now, Lau.
How do you differentiate between those? I mean,
there's not that big of a difference, to be fair. Like,
you would have to be lucky as hell to be able to differentiate between like 5 different light beers or lagers.
Not lucky. You just have to really know what you're doing, like me, and I can
So-
differentiate.
Wow, you're sticking this on Untappd. Where are you going with it?
I mean, it's, I don't know, what's an average score? 2.5 we'll go with?
That's up for debate, but yes, I
was going to say we had a
average.
conversation about this. Not for me, it's not average, but for Ross it is. Ross is savage.
Yeah,
Oddly enough,
I mean,
50% would be halfway.
I don't think it's brewed.
In Ross's world, a 50% is a C. So you've got to factor that in as he scoops.
All right.
it's not that I wouldn't drink this, but this isn't what I would order when I went to the brewing project, right? Like this isn't what I'm looking for from them. I think it's well made. I think it's fine.
That is a beer that they produce almost assuredly for the Miller Lite drinkers, the people that don't enjoy craft beer that go with their friends and show up at the brewing project.
Yeah.
That's
Like Tyler's brother-in-law. He would love that beer.
Hey, Brother and Lager is a fine beer.
It was a good beer. Well, good. Hey, day 2 of the brewing project, 13 days of Christmas, cruising along. We're through day 9. The box is getting torn up, but we're tearing into it, and we're going to keep on. Wow, I can't even talk. Keep on going. Tomorrow is day 10. We are hitting the double digits. That means essentially 2 weeks of videos left for you to enjoy. So stick around. Like I said, a lot more where this came from. We've got our wonderful guests here hanging out, having some beers as we all prep for the holidays. So we'll see all of you in the next one. And thanks for watching.
Thanks, everyone.